Is brought to you by Jeff Russo, attorney at law.
1580, 103.3 WPKY. Good morning. Time is 8:50. It is 36. We have Sean Mestan joining us this morning to talk to us about Saturday's Small Town Christmas here in Princeton. Good morning.
Good morning, Misty. How are you?
Oh, doing great. I'm excited about this.
Oh, yeah, we have a lot going on, and we might have some wintry weather to help us out that day, too. So I think we're right on the borderline of some mixture of snow and rain, so we'll see. Hopefully it won't be rain.
Yeah, I think I would prefer the snow as long as we get just a dusting.
That's right.
Light dusting.
That's
that would
right.
be perfect, right?
Exactly. Yep.
So tell us about this event.
Well, now this is all happening this Saturday, December the 8th, and we're going to get it started pretty early, 8 o'clock in the morning, so from 8 to 10 a.m. at the Tourism Center in downtown Princeton. The Princeton Rotary Club is sponsoring a breakfast with Santa and Elf on the Shelf. And they'll both be there at the Tourism Center, and there'll be some goodies down there for the children. And so we just encourage all the parents to bring their children out and visit with Santa. And there'll be plenty of photo opportunities also. So that starts at 8 o'clock and will go until about 10 a.m.
And where is the Tourism Center for somebody that might?
The Tourism Center is at the end of Main Street. Most people are familiar with Newsom's, and it's right across from Newsom's at the end of Main Street.
Okay.
And so, again, that's sponsored by the Rotary Club, and we appreciate them. They've done this for several years, and we appreciate them doing that. Then, starting at 10 a.m., the doors were open for a free movie at the Capitol Cinema. And this year, the movie is sponsored by Planners Bank. Jake Pepper and his group over there have sponsored this movie this year, and the movie will be The Star. It's an animated, I think it's a Sony production animated movie. So, and that will start at 10:30, but the doors will open at 10 o'clock. And just, I'd like to give a shout out to Capitol Cinemas and Heidi Boyd. They are having several free movies this month, and I just, for a second, I want to kind of plug some of those movies if I can. Of course, this Saturday will be The Star, again starting at 10:30. And I believe if you bring a canned good to this movie, you will get $1 off on any size popcorn, so keep that in mind. So that movie starts at 10:30, and then on December the 15th is A Christmas Story will be showing, and I believe that's a 10:30 a.m. showing also, and that's sponsored by our newly elected mayor, Dakota Young. And then on December the 20th, there will be a showing of National Lampoon Christmas Vacation, and that movie will be showing at night at 9:30 p.m. And then finally, on December the 22nd, sponsored by First Southern Bank, and this is another 10:30 a.m. Movie, will be The Polar Express. And I think you can go to the Capitol Cinema's Facebook page and see a listing of all those movies. So we certainly appreciate Capitol Cinemas joining in on the holiday spirit and giving families a chance to go see good Christmas movies, and we appreciate all the sponsors as well, Planners Bank and Dakota Young and First Southern Bank.
Okay, and that is, so they're doing that just this month. Is that like kind of a while school's out kind of thing, or just? Yeah,
I think a few of them will be shown before school actually lets out, but they will be on Saturday. So, but yeah, then that will, a couple of them are, after school lets out.
Okay, yeah, and Capitol Cinema, that's wonderful that they're doing that free movie as part of the Small Town Christmas. That's awesome.
Yeah, and again, they've done that in the past, and I think they have several this year, a few more than they've had in the past, but they've had some other sponsors step up, and so that's great that they can do that.
Good. Now, what else is happening? We've got the movie, we've got Breakfast with Santa and Elf on the Shelf, and what else?
Okay, at 1 o'clock at Adsmore, and again, they've done this in the past, there will be a story time, and they'll have refreshments over there. So I'm pretty sure they read the night before Christmas. So from 1 to 3, they will be open. And now, if it's very cold out, in the past they've done it outside, but if it's very cold, they'll move inside, and so your children will stay warm, and then there'll be a reading of the night before Christmas. And they usually do that in groups of 10 to 15, and then they'll rotate, and so that goes from 1 to 3.
Okay, and that's at the Tourism Center as well? No, that was at Adsmore.
That's at Adsmore, right.
And where is Adsmore located?
And Adsmore is right off of North Jefferson, about 2 blocks off of Court Square.
Okay.
Right on the right, the big house. You can't miss it.
Ha. So that's 1 to 3, and then what?
And about the same time, starting at 1:30, and this is back in the Tourism Center, which it's really an easy walk. So if you wanted to take your children to Adsmore and hear the Christmas story or the night before Christmas, then you could actually walk back over to the Tourism Center with them. There will be a crafts for kids, and that's going to be done by Miranda Meek. She's one of our art teachers in the public school system here. And they'll be making a small craft that can probably be used as a Christmas ornament on a tree. And she does a great job. She's very creative, and so that'll be a chance for your children to do some hands-on type activities during the day, and take something home with them.
All right, so we've got breakfast, we've got a movie, story time, we've got a craft, and then
that leads up to the big parade.
Yay!
So, and the parade actually starts at 5 o'clock. The lineup will take place, as it has in the past, in the Butler parking lot. And just want to remind everyone that that parking lot, starting around 4 o'clock, will be kind of blocked off just for people who are participating in the parade. And then as it gets closer to 5 o'clock, then the traffic going down Main Street will be detoured for a bit while the parade goes on. So just keep that in mind if you're traveling through town. We hope that everyone won't be traveling through town on Saturday. We hope you'll come downtown and enjoy the parade, and also certainly support our local merchants. I know if there's probably a lot of people out there like me who do their Christmas shopping at the last minute, and so please take part of that day to support our local merchants downtown and in other parts of the community as well. As far as the parade goes, we still have plenty of room for floats, and it's not too late to get a entry form and get that back to me. If you need one, you can certainly call the chamber phone number. It's 270-963-0944, and I'll actually bring you a form if you'd like one. Or there will be some people, you can bring them the day of the parade and just turn them in that day. But we just encourage people to come out. The theme for the parade is Night of Light. So whatever you choose to have in the parade, just hope that you light it up real well so that it can be seen. And the parade starts at 5 o'clock. So it will be, as most of you know, it's dark by 5. So, and I'd like to mention that our parade master of ceremonies, or grand marshal rather, this year is Ralph Sharp, and so Ralph's pretty excited about being the grand marshal, and so I hope you come out and support Ralph. And he's one of those individuals who's been very supportive of everything that goes on in this community. He's very supportive of our school system, and he's at almost every event you could imagine. So please come out and support Ralph, and he'll have a chance to light the lights on the big Christmas tree in front of the courthouse. So we're excited for Ralph. And And then, so bringing up the rear of the parade, as always, will be Santa himself. So he's excited about coming to Princeton, and we have his house set up down by the courthouse, and he will be there after this week. There will be visiting hours for Santa's house. So on Thursday and Fridays, from 5 until 7 p.m. Once you get away from your jobs in the afternoon and you have some time, if you happen to miss Santa this Saturday, then you can bring your children down to Santa's house by the courthouse, and so that's on Thursdays and Fridays from 5 to 7 p.m. And then he'll also be there on Saturdays from 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. So, and that'll be right up until Christmas. So we're glad Santa's taking some time out to come to Princeton and see all the kids and find out if they've been naughty or nice, and see what they want for Christmas.
He'll get his belly full at breakfast and then ride the parade at that night, huh?
That's right. He's going to have a busy day. We have a really nice ride for Santa this year also, so it'll be I think people will be excited about seeing that.
Okay, I'm excited. I have two quick questions. Hopefully they'll be quick questions. First of all, how many floats do you have this year so far?
Right now, I think we have 4 or 5, but it kind of depends on what you're defining as a float. I mean, we have a lot of people who will be in cars and things like that. So, of course, we'll have, our first responders, we'll have some fire trucks, and then, our city council members will be in it. But, yeah, I think right now we have 4 or 5. And then we also have our high school and our middle school bands will be participating. So that's what we're looking at right now.
Okay, my next question, because some do, some don't. Candy? Is candy allowed in the parade?
Yes, candy is allowed. Certainly we want everyone, whether you're walking or you're on a float or in a fire truck, we encourage people to throw candy. So, yeah, that by all means. Okay.
Well, there's a lot of cities that don't anymore, and so that's why I wanted to clarify.
Right, and we just like you to make sure that, you keep your children on the sidewalks, and the people who are throwing the candy will make sure that it gets to you. So
have a good arm.
Exactly. If you have children that kind of tend to run away from you, then hang on to them tightly, and because there'll be several vehicles on the streets at that time. So just make sure they stay on the sidewalks and everyone's safe.
Okay, Sean, and we're going to carry the parade, of course, live here on WPKY.
We appreciate y'all doing that. That'll be exciting too. So.
It will. So even if you're sitting there watching it, you can still listen live. You can stream us on the internet and or take your radio with you, whatever.
There you go.
That way you can hear the play-by-play.
Exactly.
And you mentioned Ralph is going to be the Grand Marshal. He's actually going to be in tomorrow in the studio. He's going to be one of our guests.
Great.
So I'm going to talk to him about that for sure. I'll put that on my list of things I want to talk to him about.
Yeah, we have a nice convertible for Ralph to ride in. So I hope people really come out and support Ralph in lighting the Christmas tree, and so I know he's excited about it.
Oh, good. Sean, we have plumb run out of time. We've actually gone over our time, so I'm going to have to wrap this one up. But we sure do appreciate you coming in today to talk to us about this.
Thank you so much, Misty.
Thank you, Sean. Sean Mestan and the Small Town Christmas.
Serving Caldwell County since 1950. We're 1580, 103.3 WPKY Princeton.
ABC News, I'm Jim Ryan. More people are lining up on Capitol Hill paying their respects to former President George H.W. Bush. His casket draped in the American flag sitting in the middle of the rotunda. Here's ABC's Emily Rao.
The former president's remains will stay in the rotunda until the state funeral on Wednesday. At that service at the National Cathedral, every living president will attend. He will then return to Houston for another service there before being laid to rest next to his wife and daughter.
CIA Director Gina Haspel will speak with a handful of senators today about the latest on the investigation into the death of reporter Jamal Khashoggi. Several
on the sidewalks and
did not appear at a briefing last week. 5 days of debate are kicking off in Parliament in Great Britain over Brexit. A vote is scheduled for next week. French officials are now
Sean Mestan and the small
6 months after days of protests in Paris. Over 100 people were hurt, 400 arrested. This is ABC News. Lawmakers in Wisconsin are set to vote today on a set of measures pushed by Republicans to limit the power of the incoming governor and attorney general, both of them Democrats. One of the country's top college football coaches is set to retire.
Ohio State missed out on the final college football playoff spot despite a convincing win over Northwestern in the Big Ten Championship Saturday. Now the Buckeyes' last game of the season at the Rose Bowl on New Year's Day will be Urban Meyer's last. The school announcing Ryan Day, the team's offensive coordinator, will take over the team January 2nd. Meyer is 82-9 in